Hello everyone and welcome to the ICC T20 Men's World Cup 2022 Captain's Media Day. I'm your host Mel Jones and I can tell you I'm just a little bit excited for what we have today because for the very first time we have all 16 captains in the one spot getting ready to kickstart this World Cup campaign. And it all starts tomorrow down at Kardinia Park Stadium with the 2014 champions Sri Lanka taking on Namibia and then the UAE meeting the Netherlands. And I can say from all reports we are expecting a very large crowd indeed. Ghana, Palawa, Wadawurrung, Wurundjeri, Whadjuk, Gadigal and Ugara. These are the lands that will be hosting all the matches in the 2022 T20 World Cup. Melbourne has been known for many a year as the sporting capital of the world, and it's self-proclaimed, I can say that as a Melbourne girl. But for over 65,000 years, it's been known by the people of the Kulin Nation here on Wurundjeri land as Naarm. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land in which we meet today, the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung and the Boonwurrung people of the Eastern Kulin, and I pay my respects to elders, past and present, and for future generations, and welcome all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples with us today. The T20 World Cup is one of the biggest sporting events in the world, and it's the game that is played in our shortest format, and it is also our fastest growing format as well. At this year's event, 16 teams featuring our very best cricketers across the world will play in 45 matches across 7 of Australian cities, all of which have their own unique cricketing flavour. As well as that, over 750,000 fans of all different ages and backgrounds are anticipated to come through our gates, which is a wonderful way to showcase the diversity of our game, but also of Australia as well. And a reminder for fans as well, if you haven't got your tickets yet, I think it's very wise to jump on t20worldcup.com and get them very quickly indeed. Now, I must admit, 16 captains that we had behind stage before was a little bit like herding cats. So I think what we're going to do today, we're going to split it in half. We're going to be joined on stage by 8 of the captains at a time, and we'll be taking questions from the media today for about 20 minutes or so. So I'd like to start by welcoming to stage the first 8 of our captains from Group A and from Group 1. To start with, the captain of Australia, Aaron Finch. Followed by Gerard Erasmus from Namibia, New Zealand skipper Kane Williamson, Dasun Shanaka from Sri Lanka, one of the newest captains in the T20 format, Jos Buttler from England, CP Rizwan, who unfortunately missed out on playing at the G the other day from the UAE, but still has another chance later in the tournament, Mohammad Nabi from Afghanistan, and last but certainly not least, from Scotland, Scott Edwards. Welcome, Scott. Now, I'm actually going to kickstart things today with a couple of questions to 2 of the captains that are going to be playing tomorrow as well. So, Gerard, I might start with you, if I can get eyes on you. You guys have been doing this mannequin test very well, so here we go. We've got you right at the end. Namibia's best ever T20 World Cup just last year, so the preparation and execution was absolutely spot on. What can we expect from you guys? Exactly the same game plan, a little bit of tweaking, or something really bold and different?
Yeah, I guess this year is a bit different contextually to last year. We sort of could ride on that underdog factor and just go with it, and there's a bit of more expectation perhaps this year. To go one better. Our preparations have been really nice, getting to Wangaratta in the countryside of Australia quite early, and getting accustomed to things around here. So I guess we'll try and still ride on that underdog tag for a little bit longer, but when the real stuff starts, you need to bring the high level skill that the guys play at the World Cup, and hopefully we can do that.
And you mentioned just behind here getting accustomed to the local traditions. One is AFL football. You're sitting next to Aaron Finch at the moment, so I gather you're a Geelong Cats fan now, are you? Just say yes.
Geelong supporter, yeah.
I've just become one because all of Geelong's buzzing because of their win, obviously. And that Finch is from Geelong, and he's starting to teach me some of the AFL stuff, which I'm not too sure about. I like a bit more contact, I guess.
Brilliant. Welcome and thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Dasun, I'll go to you. As a Melbourne girl, I've grown up seeing, but more so hearing a lot of Sri Lankan fans, more so at the G, but we'll be hearing them at Geelong. It's almost like a home away from home for you. How much is the support of your Sri Lankan community going to sort of help the Sri Lankan side this World Cup?
Yeah, it's been amazing playing in Melbourne anyway. We've been enjoying ever since we play in Melbourne. So looking forward for the Geelong game. So there will be massive crowd. So we are looking forward for that.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be very noisy indeed. Before we get started with questions from the floor, I want to acknowledge two very special guests that we have today with us. UNICEF Young Ambassadors Zara and Jahin. They are here to champion the ICC and UNICEF's global partnership that aims to create an equal future by empowering women and girls through cricket, promoting their voices and building a social movement for gender equity in the game. Now, I'm going to start with Zara, a proud Little woman from Tasmania. Over to you for the very first question to Aaron Finch.
Well, thank you very much, Mel. And I normally would call you Finchy when I'm watching at home. So, hello, Finchy. I'm Zara. My question for you today is, when Australia won the ICC Women's T20 World Cup in 2020, what legacy do you think that left for girls playing cricket in Australia, and how can we build on that momentum? Thank you.
Hi Zara, yeah, I think it was an amazing World Cup in total, and I think to have 86,000 people at the MCG to witness that final between Australia and India was unbelievable. In Australia, we've seen cricket participation double in girls since that World Cup final, so I think that's the legacy that it's leaving, that there's more participation in the game, which is going to create more opportunities, hopefully for a long time to come. And we're very, very lucky that cricket is a game that is world leading in the women's space, and the amount of opportunities and exposure that they get around the world is fantastic. But obviously there's always more that we can do.
Super question, Zara. First ever sort of dad-daughter combination playing for Australia, Esther, in about 17 years' time?
I think the Warner girls might beat Esther to it. They're very talented at most sports that they do, but yeah, let's wait and see.
Okay, wonderful question, Zara. I am going to open it up to the floor as well. Can I just have a reminder just to state your name and the organisation you're with, and just because of the limited time that we have, if we can keep them to the T20 tournament as well. And I've got a hand straight up in front here. Apologies, I can't quite see everyone.
Sunandan Lele from India, Sakal. Question for Kane Williamson. Even though New Zealand team's performance at the world level has been really good of late, but still nobody calls you favourite before the game. You love to fly under the radar?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have a choice in what people call us, but for us, we come here and try and focus on the cricket that we want to play, and address what's in front of us. And we had a pretty memorable World Cup a few months back and played these guys in the final, and it was a great game of cricket, and these sorts of tournaments are always pretty special to be a part of. Yeah, I mean, everybody has different tags and rankings that go up and down throughout the year, and I suppose they end up with different names, but yeah, you come here in tournament sport, on any day anything can happen, especially looking across all these teams with match winners throughout.
Thank you. Next question. Yep, second row.
Andrew McGlashan from Quick Info. Question for Joss. England played almost the perfect tournament up to the semi-finals last year. How do you prepare for a tournament that is so ruthless and one loss can see you go out at sort of any point? How do you mentally prepare for that sort of competition?
Yeah, I think you just have to accept it's really, as Kane just mentioned, it's fierce competition. There's some great players here, and especially in T20 cricket, one person can take the game away from you. So, very much just prepare for the next game. We've had good preparation. We look forward to this tournament, and don't try and read too much into past tournaments or things. We try and learn and get better and improve every day, and look forward to starting this competition in the next week.
Yep, got a hand up over the back there. Thank you.
Hi guys, this is sort of a bit of a different question given that you're all here, and I'll ask both groups, so it's not sort of signalling your group out, but Could you guys indicate with a show of hands whether you'd be comfortable if one of your bowlers would run out a non-striker during this tournament, whether you would or not? No hands
Seems to be
raised.
a little bit, yeah, look, I think we'll just stick to, fair enough question, I admit, but the captains have sort of given us their time just to talk a little bit more broadly than that, I think. We've got another question from the field. Yes, yellow top at the front here.
Tell you.
Hi, Vimal Kumar from India, and this question is to Afghanistani captain. मैं हिंदी में पूछूं तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी मेरे ख्याल से, आप तो जवाब देते हैं. मेरा सवाल ये है कि आप जब देखते हैं अफगानिस्तान की टीम यहाँ पर आ गई है T20 वर्ल्ड कप में, लेकिन श्रीलंका जो एशिया कप में इतना अच्छा खेली, चैंपियन बनी, और वेस्ट इंडीज़ जैसी टीम को क्वालिफाई नहीं कर पाए, वो क्वालिफायर्स खेल रहे हैं. ऐसे में उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट से अफगानिस्तान के लिए कितनी बड़ी बात है ये?
Yeah, it's a honor to play in first 8, not playing qualifying rounds. We out from that stage, and it's be a proud moment for us as well. And that's why we wasn't under pressure a lot when you're playing in Super 8. Rather we play qualifiers and then play in the top 8 or 10. It's really good, and it's give a more opportunity to play with the big teams.
Yep, just down the front here.
G'day, Josh Daw from 9 News. Question for Scott. Scott, when you were growing up, learning the craft out at Blackie South, did you ever dream that you'd be here in Melbourne leading your country, and how much damage can your side do?
Yeah, I suppose growing up playing in World Cups is always something you look forward to. So to be here representing the Netherlands is awesome. Yeah, we're pretty comfortable with the squad we've brought across. We've had great preparation period. I think 7 or 8 practice games leading into the tournament. So hopefully, win a few games in this first round and then see where we go.
That was a very Australian question. Blackie South is short for?
Blackburn South.
Blackburn South, there we go. At the front here.
Hi, Dustin. First of all, congratulations on winning the Asia Cup. You guys were absolutely phenomenal. Again, nobody's talking about Sri Lanka as one of the favourites to win the World Cup, even though you've won the Asia Cup. Can you talk about how confident you are on a scale of 1 to 10 that you can upset the big teams, and what areas does Sri Lanka need to concentrate on if they have to go deeper into the tournament? Thank you. So, Sushant from Sports CRA.
So after a very good Asia Cup, so we are very much confident. The team is, the environment is really good, and we are well focused on our batting. So as it is the early summer, so the conditions will be somewhat different. So we are really focusing on that. Apart from that, I think the bowlers, they are really shaping up. So Chamira is back with us and Lahiru Kumar is back with us. So there are plus points coming from the Asia Cup. So yeah, it depends on the day. T20 cricket, we never know who will be going to win. So I think the better teams come out of the day win. So we are prepared for the challenge. So we are looking forward for a good tournament.
Yes, just down the front here.
Hi, this is Diptiman from Radio 3ZZZ. My question is to Aaron. Aaron, this Australian team operates like a fully firing Ferrari. A Ferrari has 8 cylinders. You have the luxury of 15 cylinders. When it comes to the crunch matches, will your Ferrari of 11 people be batter heavy, front wheel drive, or a fully balanced all wheel drive?
Well, there's a bit to unpack there. Obviously, you go into a World Cup knowing that the makeup of your 15 man is really important. It's not just 11 players that win you a World Cup. It's the contribution all around. So I feel as though we've got a really well balanced side. We've got some match winners all throughout the batting lineup and with the ball as well. So I think it's just about trying to peak at the right time. There's no point getting caught up with what we should be doing or shouldn't be doing in the lead up to the tournament. I think it's important that everyone within the squad knows their roles and what role they're most likely to play throughout the tournament, and we can tweak things here and there, but there's a really good feel in the squad.
What colour's your Ferrari, Finchy?
Oh, I wish.
Yeah, okay.
I think Joss is your man for that.
Okay, looking at, yeah, sorry, it's a little bit, yeah, down the front.
I'm Danushka Ravinder from sportspavilion.lk. My question for Dasun Chanak. Dasun, how the preparation for the tomorrow's game?
Preparation been good. You know, we came out here a couple of weeks ago, so we had a good practice game. So yeah, boys are well shaped up, so we are ready for the challenge.
Yep, down the front.
Aaron, can you talk a little bit about, even though you won the last World Cup, your personal form has been up and down. Can you talk about that a little bit? Because the opening position obviously is very crucial in T20 game.
Yeah, obviously it's a huge part of the game. I think T20 cricket, as an opening batter, it comes with some risk and reward at times when you're trying to be aggressive and get the team off to a quick start. But it's not always going to go to plan, so I'm okay with that. I think when you play T20 for long enough, you understand that you just ride the highs and lows a little bit. But I feel really good. There's some technical changes and stuff that I've been trying to make over the last little bit. So yeah, I feel ready to go for the World Cup.
Thank you. Daniel Cherney from Code Sports in Australia. Question for Mohammed Nabi. Mohammed, given the political situation in your country, how hard has it been to maintain the momentum and the gains that Afghanistan cricket has made over the last 10 to 15 years in light of these challenges?
Yeah, it's always be challenging. The back home country situation as will be from last 50 years will be the same, not improvement. But as a sports, we try our best always to bring some happiness in face of our country people, and that's why always we work hard, play by passion and everything, that win some game in this kind of big events.
Wonderful. Just at the back there, microphone in hand.
Shanika, question from Roger Vaughan, Australian Associated Press. You come up against Namibia tomorrow. You obviously want to get the tournament on the right foot. What do you know? You know, they're happy with their underdog status. What do you know about them and the threats that they pose for you tomorrow?
We have played one time in Geelong, so we know the conditions really well about the dimensions, and we played the same opposition last year World Cup, so we know exactly what coming against us, and I think the Namibian side also well prepared, so they got good players in their side, so yeah, that's it.
I think microphone in hand here, yep.
Thanks, Mel. Andrew McCormack from 7 News here in Melbourne. My question to Joss. I guess in times gone past, coming down to Australia and playing on Australian conditions, the Aussies would be overwhelming favourites, but T20 cricket, the way it is, sort of anyone can win on their day. Do you think conditions, perhaps in that case, there's a bit less of the fear factor around teams coming to Australia and playing against Australia in a big game, coming out on top against them than probably years gone by?
Yeah, I think T20 is one of those games, as you mentioned, can be unpredictable. I think history tells you that generally the host nations are slight favourites in big tournaments, I think, especially, lots of people have travelled and played in Australia and know conditions, but of course no one's going to know the conditions or be as accustomed to them as the Australian team, and they're the reigning champions as well. So you have to pick them out probably as the favourites for the tournament. But as I mentioned, T20 can be unpredictable. There's lots of very, very good teams there, very good players who will all have a say throughout this World Cup.
Down the front. Ooh. Yep.
Question for UAE captain. The cricket in UAE is really growing thick and fast. So what this tournament means to you?
Yeah, it means a lot for us. I mean, there are a lot of good things coming up for UAE cricket. There's a league going to happen in UAE, and yeah, I mean, coming back to this tournament, our boys are also really, preparing well. I mean, we want to really make an impact and show our skill set in this bigger platform, and to show to the world that we are here to make an impact.
My question to UAE captain again. It's such a good honor that you're representing in such a prestigious tournament. I wish you good luck that you win the final, but what position you would be happy to go with? At least semi-final, final, in your opinion, with your ranking. You're happy to do the upset? UAE captain.
CP. Yep.
Could you repeat that?
Yep. CP, where are you aiming for as a team? Are you looking at the qualifiers to get into the Super 12 or to take the trophy home?
Yeah, first of all, our first target will be the second round. I mean, having said that, we have to focus on the task in hand and treat every match equally important, and and try to take one step at a time and try to do our skill set and try to execute our skill set really well and take it from there.
Okay, we've probably got time for one or two more questions.
Alex Malcolm from Quick Info. Just a question for Kay Williamson. How's Daryl Mitchell and Lockie Ferguson tracking ahead of next week?
Yeah, Lockie's tracking quite well. Daryl's sort of a day-by-day case, so he'll start hitting fairly soon. Yeah, a few little niggles in the camp, but hopefully the timing is on our side and they can be fit and ready.
Okay, just a quick look across the room. Any more questions for these 8 captains? We'll make this the...
This question is for all the captains, whosoever can volunteer. My question is, does the spirit of cricket enable you to exchange notes between yourselves, or does the spirit of competition prevent you from exchanging notes among you captains? It's a common question for anybody who can volunteer.
I'm tipping if they want to win a T20 World Cup, they might keep their notes in their back pocket. Yeah, one last question. There we go.
Just go back to Andrew McCormack again for 7 News. Just to go back to Scott, if I can. How is it going to be for you, mate? I mean, playing in Australia, I guess you've got requests for tickets all over the shop, but can you just describe what it's going to be like for you? And I mean, it's obviously a dream come true. And can you just describe what it's going to be like, playing a tournament, albeit not for the Australian country you probably grew up dreaming of, but for Scotland, and it's going to be a massive deal for Netherlands. Sorry, for you guys, and a massive deal for a number of guys in the group.
Yeah, well, we've got a few guys in the group that have, have grown up in Australia or been across to Australia at certain times, so it's pretty cool. We've obviously got that little bit of experience over here as well with guys like Tom Cooper, who's been in the Big Bash, so exciting for that. And obviously, as you said, yeah, lots of ticket requests from family and friends in Melbourne. So yeah, looking forward to it, but more importantly, just the group we've got, really enjoying what we've got going, and hopefully, that leads into the second round for us.
If I could just one more follow-up, Mel, if I can. Have you played a sort of this size a game in Australia, the Netherlands guys as a group, or is it usually mostly overseas? Like, how many times have you actually probably never played a game of this size in Australia? Would that be right as a group?
Me or the team?
Yeah, well, sort of both, I guess.
No, we haven't. Not in Australia. No. Obviously there were some big games at the World Cup last year and had some big games this summer, but no, not over here in Australia.
Sorry, one more. Have you played on the G yourself, as in a sizable game, or when's the last time you were out on the G?
No, I haven't actually. We were meant to be playing there in the practice game, which got rained off. So, no, haven't to this stage. Hopefully, at some stage during the World Cup, that'd be cool.
Good luck.
Sounds pretty good to me. And if you do have any spare tickets, we'll have a chat out the back. Can we please put our hands together for the first of the 8 captains: Aaron Finch, Gerard Erasmus, Kane Williamson, Dasun Shankan, Joss Butler, CP Rizwan, Mohammed Nabi, and Scott Edwards. Fellas, thank you so much for that. said before it was like herding cats, but they're now perfectly in line, doing everything that they've been asked for, which is absolutely brilliant. Let's see if the next 8 do exactly the same as well. So we're very fortunate enough to kickstart things with the Indian captain in Rohit Sharma. They're not quite as organised as the first 8. I've been told 15 seconds, so I can wax lyrical a little bit about Rohit to begin with. He will be followed by Nicholas Pooran, who's got the weight of expectation of the West Indies on his shoulders, with the West Indies having won 2 previous T20 World Cups. Hey, Nicholas, come on down. We've got one of you. Come on. Yep, we're all ready to go. There we go, Rohit Sharma. Nicholas Pooran from the West Indies. Babar Azam, captain of Pakistan. Here he is, welcome Baba. Richie Berrington from Scotland. South African captain Temba Bavuma. Craig Irvine from Zimbabwe. Andrew Balbirnie from Ireland. And last but certainly not least, Shakib Al Hassan from Bangladesh. Welcome to you guys. So you know the standard now, so get ready for a little bit of a grilling from the audience, but I will start as well. I'm going to start with you, Richie. A little bit light on in terms of T20 internationals over the last little bit, but some seriously good form in the 50-over formats. That combined with the success from just 12 months ago must have you guys feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, definitely. We had a couple of good fixtures during the home summer against New Zealand this year, which was really useful, obviously, to come up against a strong New Zealand team, something we certainly took a lot of learnings from. And yeah, obviously I think we can take a lot of confidence from the white ball cricket we've played this year, certainly in a strong position in terms of the one-day stuff. And I think the guys, after last year's World Cup, we're really looking forward to this one, and hopefully we can build on some of the performances we had last year.
I just mentioned that Melbourne's sort of like a home away from home for Sri Lanka. Hobart for Scotland would feel pretty good too, won't it?
Yeah, sounds like it. A few of us were there in 2015 and really enjoyed our time there. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting down there and getting started. I believe there's quite a few Scottish fans down that way. So yeah, it should be good fun. Enjoy.
Nicholas, for you, as the opposition in the first round down there, I talked about the weight of expectation for a tournament. Aaron Finch will certainly feel it as captain of Australia. Rohit feels it with, was it 1.6 billion people cheering you guys on. For you, though, you've missed a few of the legends of the game. It's a new team. How are you handling that expectation from back home?
To be honest, I don't feel like there's a lot of pressure. Honestly, we believe that we're a new group of guys. Yes, we have a rich history when it comes to T20 cricket, but in all fairness, these guys just started to represent West Indies, and it's only fair that we start at the bottom. I think we have the toughest way to the World Cup, and the guys understand that. I keep telling these guys it may be a blessing in disguise for us to start in the qualifiers first. Obviously, everyone knows when you want something, you have to work really hard for it. But yes, we want to qualify, and obviously there's some pressure as well, but the guys are not thinking about that. We just want to focus on ourselves and try to play the best cricket we can.
Brilliant. Looking forward to seeing you guys during the T20 Men's World Cup. We're going to follow the same order, so before I throw open to the audience, we've got our UNICEF ambassador all ready to go. There's a little bit of nerves early doors, but I think he'll settle down into this absolutely beautiful as well. So Yahin, you have your first question for Rohit Sharma.
Thanks so much, Mel. And the pressure's only for 1.6 billion people watching me ask their captain a question. Rohit, my question to you is, as a father to a young daughter yourself, what role do you think the 16 captains here today play in inspiring more children to get involved in the sport, especially young girls?
Yeah, I think we play a big part in that. I think it's important. All of us are ambassadors in their own way. It's important for us to carry ourselves and lead by an example to show the world, especially the kids, because we want our next generation to follow the sport and play the sport at the same time as well. It's a wonderful sport, and we all encourage our next generation to come forward and take up the sport. Eventually, that's what we want. We want to make this sport as global as we can and reach out to as many countries as possible.
Wonderful answer. Okay, I'm going to throw it up into the audience now as well. Same sort of approach as we did last time as well. So front row on the end there. We can get a microphone across.
Okay.
Sorry, there's already.
Hi.
Sorry, yep. One with the microphone. I'll come back to you on the second one.
Hi, this is Mohammad Adnan from Pakistan. My question is from Babar Azam. By the way, guys, it's Babar Azam birthday, so a very happy birthday, Babar Azam.
Thank you so much.
Then I'll ask the question in Urdu. बाबर शाहीन और फ़खर वापस आ रहे हैं टीम में, दोनों इंजरी से वापस आ रहे हैं, सो उनकी कोई मैच प्रैक्टिस नहीं है ऑब्वियसली, तो क्या हम उनको खेलता देख पाएंगे वार्म अप मैचेस में स्पेशली और अगेंस्ट इंडिया इन दैट ऑल इम्पॉर्टेंट मैच?
डेफिनेटली जिस तरह शाहीन वापस आए हैं और फ़खर वापस आए हैं, बिल्कुल हमारे पास बिफोर द फर्स्ट मैच वी हैव अ 6 day and 2 practice games, so we are utilize that ये 2 मैचेस हैं, इसको भी यूटिलाइज़ करेंगे हम कि हमारे जो शाहीन स्पेशली वो जिस तरह आए हैं और जिस तरह वो फुली फिट है और जिस तरह वो फुल डेडिकेशन है खेलने के लिए और वो हमेशा अपना 100% देता है और एफर्ट दिखाता है, तो इंशाल्लाह लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू द सी इन द प्ले.
Thanks, Baba. Yes, next in the front row.
सुशांत मेहता है फ्रॉम स्पोर्ट्स यार इंडिया. रोहित, आपके लिए सवाल है. बैटिंग तो सही टाइम पे क्लिक भी कर रही है और फॉर्म में भी लग रहा है. बॉलिंग डिपार्टमेंट में काफ़ी इंजरीज़ की वजह से बहुत गड़बड़ हो गई. बुमराह पहले इंजर्ड, पहले रविंद्र जडेजा इंजर्ड, अब लास्ट मोमेंट में मोहम्मद शमी आए. तो शमी भाई के बारे में कुछ बताएं, कितना पॉजिटिव लग रहा है? एंड गोइंग इनटू द बिग गेम वर्सेस पाकिस्तान, हाउ कॉन्फिडेंट आर यू ऑफ द बॉलिंग साइड ऑफ इंडिया?
नहीं, देखिए, injury is part and parcel of the sport. There's nothing much can be done about it because अगर आप इतने मैचेस खेलोगे तो इंजरीज होगी, बट इसीलिए हमारा फोकस पिछले 1 साल में यही था कि जो हमारी बेंच स्ट्रेंथ है उसको हमें बनानी है. इसीलिए आपने देखा होगा कि जहाँ जहाँ हमें मौका मिला हमने नए लड़कों को खिलाया. और जहाँ तक शमी की बात है, ऑब्वियसली उनको 2-3 हफ्ते पहले कोविड हो गया था, तो घर में थे, अपने फार्म में बैठे थे, और उनको फिर एनसीए बुलाना पड़ा. एनसीए में आए वो, और एनसीए में काफ़ी मेहनत कर रहे थे, पिछले 10 दिनों से काफ़ी मेहनत कर रहे थे, और अभी ब्रिस्बेन आ चुके हैं टीम के साथ. इंडियन टीम अभी पहुँचेगी पर्थ से ब्रिस्बेन. कल हमारा प्रैक्टिस सेशन है, तो टीम के साथ प्रैक्टिस करेंगे. जो भी हमें शमी के बारे में अभी तक सुनने मिला है वो काफ़ी पॉजिटिव है कि उनका जो रिकवरी था कोविड के बाद वो काफ़ी अच्छा रहा है, और 3-4 बॉलिंग सेशन किए उन्होंने फुल इंटेंसिटी से. तो ऑल इन ऑल सब कुछ अच्छा लग रहा है शमी को लेकर. बट अगेन इंजरी की बात आती है तो लाइक आई सेड, हमने काफ़ी कोशिश की है प्लेयर मैनेजमेंट करने की पिछले 1 सालों में, बट अनफॉर्चुनेट हो जाता है कभी कभी. देयर इज़ नॉट मच यू कैन डू अबाउट इट. बट इसीलिए हमारा हमेशा से फोकस ये था कि हमें जो पीछे लड़के हैं उनको तैयार करना है, उनको मौका देना है, और हमें पता था कि इंजरी कभी भी हो सकती है, तो इसीलिए हमारा कांस्टेंट फोकस था कि जो पीछे वाले लड़के उनको गेम्स दिया जाए, गेम्स खिलाया जाए, उनको बैक किया जाए. तो अभी वर्ल्ड कप में जितने भी हमारे बॉलर्स आए, इन्होंने काफ़ी मैचेस खेले हुए, ऐसे नहीं है कि 1 या 2 मैचेस खेल के आए हुए. तो ये हमारा फोकस था, एंड आई थिंक हमने उसमें थोड़ा सा हमें सक्सेस मिला है.
Thanks, Robert. Microphone at the front here.
Thank you. I'll be asking in Urdu. Akil Sayyed from Airway News, Pakistan. बाबर, आप क्या समझते हैं कि अब फ़खर के आने से और आपने जो कंग्रेचुलेशन बात है ट्राई सीरीज़ जीतने पे, तो आपका वो जो मिडिल ऑर्डर प्रॉब्लम था, मिडिल ऑर्डर बैट्समैन का, वो अब आपने सॉल्व कर लिया?
देखें, काफ़ी फ़र्क पड़ेगा. और जिस तरह ट्रायंगल सीरीज़ खेली हमने न्यूजीलैंड में, और बिफोर द वर्ल्ड कप वी हैव अ गुड सीरीज़ इन न्यूजीलैंड एंड दे हेल्प मी अ लॉट बिफोर द वर्ल्ड कप. कॉन्फिडेंस है लड़कों में, और कोशिश करेंगे कि इसी मोमेंटम को लेके हम वर्ल्ड कप में जाएं. और मिडल ऑर्डर देखें जिस तरह उन्होंने परफॉर्म किया लास्ट 2 मैचेस में, स्टेप अप कर रहे हैं और बिफोर द वर्ल्ड कप जब आपको ऐसी परफॉर्मेंसेज मिलती है एज ए टीम तो आपसे काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंस मिल रहा है और मुझे पूरा बिलीव है कि जो हमारा मिडल ऑर्डर है वो परफॉर्म करेगा और बैक उनको कर रहे हैं और जिस तरह इफ्ती खेला और स्पेशली नवाज़ जिस तरह उसने इनिंग्स खेली है और उससे पहले शदाब ने खेली है, तो ये चिप इन मिडल ऑर्डर्स कर रहे हैं, तो बिफोर द वर्ल्ड कप इज़ गुड साइन फॉर अस.
Hello, hi, Jaz Ahmed from Urdu Point Network, Pakistan. बाबर, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आपको बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद, हैप्पी बर्थडे. मेरा क्वेश्चन आपसे ये है, 2 हिस्से हैं मेरे क्वेश्चन के. फर्स्ट ये कि आपके पास अब शाहीन शाह अफरीदी हैं पेसर्स में, नसीम शाह हैं, हारिस रऊफ़ हैं जो डेप्थ में बहुत अच्छे ओवर्स करते हैं, हुसनैन भी हैं. क्या आप समझते हैं कि आपके पास इस वक्त इस टूर्नामेंट में वर्ल्ड्स बेस्ट पेसर स्क्वाड आपके पास है? और मेरे क्वेश्चन का दूसरा हिस्सा है कि पहला ही मैच आपका इंडिया के अगेंस्ट है, एक बड़ा मैच है, प्रेशर भी होता है, लेकिन पिछले 1 साल में आप 2 दफ़ा इंडिया से जीत चुके हैं, तो कितना आप कॉन्फिडेंट हैं पहले मैच के लिए?
देखें पाकिस्तान ने ऑलवेज फास्ट बॉलर बनाए और सॉरी इंट्रोड्यूस करवाए हैं और जिस तरह हमारे पास फास्ट बॉलर लॉट है वो काफ़ी स्ट्रॉन्ग है और शाहीन के आने से और स्ट्रॉन्ग हो जाएगी. और जिस तरह हमारे बेंच स्ट्रेंथ्स जो थे वो भी अच्छी बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं और तो मैचेस में आपने देखा कि हम डिफरेंट कम्बिनेशन के साथ मैच खेलते रहे और उन्होंने परफॉर्म किया. और जिस तरह हारिस ने अपनी बॉलिंग को इम्प्रूव किया डे बाय डे डेथ में और न्यू बॉल के साथ, तो ये हमारे पास अपॉर्चुनिटी है एज अ फास्ट बॉलर्स कि हम दिखाएं कि हमारे पास स्किल्स हैं और हमारे पास डिफरेंट प्लेयर्स हैं कि हम डिफरेंट कम्बिनेशन के साथ जा सकते हैं. और बिल्कुल देखें जब आप इंडिया के साथ मैच खेलते हैं तो वो ऑलवेज़ हाई इंटेंसिटी वाला मैच होता है और फैंस भी इस चीज़ को वेट करते हैं, तो ऑन फील्ड हम इस चीज़ को काफ़ी इंजॉय करते हैं, कोशिश करते हैं कि ऑन द डे अच्छी क्रिकेट खेलें और 100% दें.
इधर रोहित सुनंदन ले ले, नमस्कार. रोहित, सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ कि इंडिया हो पाकिस्तान हो, हम सोचते हैं कि ये प्लेयर इंजर्ड हो गया, ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, लेकिन क्या ये इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं लगता आपको कि कौन खेल रहा है से ज़्यादा जो खेल रहे हैं वो कैसा खेल रहे हैं?
जी बिल्कुल, देखिए जैसे मैंने बताया कि इंजरीज होती रहती है, ज़्यादा फोकस और डिसअपॉइंटमेंट दिखा नहीं सकते आप उसको उस चीज़ को लेकर. आगे क्या करना है वो उसके बारे में ज़्यादा सोचने की ज़रूरत है. तो जैसे मैंने इसके पहले भी बताया कि हमने मौका दिया लड़कों को जब जब मिला और उन्होंने अच्छा करके दिखाया हमें. तो लाइक यू सेड क्लियरली इम्पॉर्टेंट होगा हमारे लिए कि जो हमारे पास है लड़के उनसे हम अच्छा प्रदर्शन निकलवाए, उनको मोटिवेट करें, उनको हेल्प करें और इससे ज़्यादा आप कुछ कर नहीं सकते. आई थिंक हम और अच्छी तरीके से प्रेप कर सकते हो. तो हमारा एक कांस्टेंट एफर्ट था यहाँ पर ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जल्दी आकर थोड़ा सा कंडीशंस यूज टू करना और प्रैक्टिस करना. 2 प्रैक्टिस मैच खेले हमने पर्थ में और 2 अभी भी है बचे हुए. तो आई थिंक गेम 23rd को जब गेम है उसके पहले तक हमारी प्रिपरेशन अच्छी तरीके से हो जाएगी. जो भी लड़के खेलने वाले हैं उनको आइडिया क्लियरली हमने दे के रखा हुआ है. तो लास्ट मिनट वाले डिसीजन पे मैं बिलीव नहीं करता हूँ. आई थिंक इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट कि जो भी आपके लड़के खेलने वाले हैं उनको पहले से आप इंफॉर्मेशन दे के रखो ताकि वो अपने तरीके से प्रिपेयर करें.
Down the front there. Swapped across.
So, a question for Craig, if I could. I know you weren't here for the one-day series because of injury, but that win Zimbabwe got against Australia in the last game, plus what you've been able to do at home this season, how much confidence does that give you in the squad you've got that you can go well at this tournament?
Yeah, look, we've obviously had, great preparation leading up to this tournament, and I think, the performances against Bangladesh at home, some good performances against India as well, and then obviously beating Australia here in Australia, has given us some great momentum going into the tournament. We also played at Hobart before, in 2015, along with Ireland and Scotland.
बड़े हैं मेरे से, और मैं इनसे कोशिश करता हूँ इनसे एक्सपीरियंस लूँ, क्योंकि इन्होंने इतना सर्व किया हुआ है, और कोशिश करते हैं कि जो चीज़ें सीखी जाएँ वो अच्छा है हमारे लिए।
रोहित आप? नहीं, जैसे बाबर ने बोला, इट इज़ एब्सोल्युटली राइट. We understand the importance of the game, but there's no point just talking about it every time and creating that pressure within yourself. So हम लोग आपस में जब भी मिलते, एशिया कप में मिले, अभी मिले, बस घर में क्या हालचाल है, फैमिली कैसी है, बस उस चीज़ के बारे में हम बात करते हैं. और जितने भी इनके टीममेट से मैं मिला हूँ, हमारी आपस में यही बातचीत होती रहती है. पिछले जनरेशन, जो हमारे पहले जनरेशन में खेले हुए लोग हैं, उन्होंने भी हमें बताया था कि आपस में घर के बारे में बातचीत होती है, लाइफ कैसी है, कौन सी नई गाड़ी खरीदी है, कौन सी नई गाड़ी खरीदने वाले हो, ये सब बात होती है.
I'm going to have to work on my Hindi and Urdu for the next one, I think. Down the front and then at the back.
Guys, welcome to all you captains. You are looking so great, like so much rivalry, so much competition all together on one stage. और रोहित, आपका हार्दिक स्वागत, बाबर साहब का भी हार्दिक स्वागत. और आपकी टीम में तो हार्दिक हैं ही, तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. मेरे दो क्वेश्चंस हैं. नंबर 1 कि सुपरमैन बुमराह की जगह पे क्या आपको 2 सुपरमैन बैटर्स चाहिए होंगे? नंबर 1. और नंबर 2, क्या इस बार आप सूर्य कुमार यादव का सितारा चमकेगा, वो नंबर 1 बन जाएंगे और आपके एक्स फैक्टर रहेंगे क्या? 2 क्वेश्चंस आपसे. मेरा नाम दीप्तिमान, मैं रेडियो 3ZZZ से हूँ.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आपने 4-5 सवाल पूछ लिए, अभी मैं तो भूल गया हूँ. बट जहाँ तक बुमराह की बात है, ऑब्वियसली देखो क्वालिटी बॉलर है, इतने साल से हमारे लिए अच्छा करते आ रहे हैं. अनफॉर्चुनेटली जैसे मैं बात उसी बारे में बात कर रहा था कि इंजरीज होती है, आप कुछ कर नहीं सकते. हमने काफ़ी स्पेशलिस्ट और काफ़ी लोगों से बात की उनके इंजरी को लेकर, बट कोई अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आया, क्योंकि जी बिल्कुल ये वर्ल्ड कप इम्पॉर्टेंट है, बट उनका करियर हमारे लिए ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है, क्योंकि अभी 27-28 साल के ही है, काफ़ी क्रिकेट पड़ी है उनके सामने, तो हम ऐसे रिस्क नहीं ले सकते. और ये जितने भी स्पेशलिस्ट से हमने बात की, उनका भी यही सजेशन था. आगे काफ़ी क्रिकेट है, काफ़ी खेलेंगे, काफ़ी मैचेस भी जिताएंगे इंडिया को, बट यस उनकी जो कमी है वो बिल्कुल खलेगी, देयर इज़ नो डाउट अबाउट इट. और जहाँ तक सूर्या का सवाल है, अभी देखिए अच्छे फॉर्म में है, अच्छा बैटिंग कर रहे हैं. I hope he continues to bat in that fashion, because it's important for us कि मिडिल ऑर्डर में वो अच्छे तरीके से बैटिंग करे. और काफ़ी कॉन्फिडेंट प्लेयर है, जब भी खेलते हैं फियरलेसली खेलते हैं, अपनी पूरी जो स्किल सेट है वो पूरी तरीके से यूज़ करते हैं. हाँ, तो आई होप वो एक्स फैक्टर बने, बट मैं वो ही नहीं, मैं तो चाहता हूँ सारे लोग ही बने. वो मुश्किल होगा, बट आई होप दैट ही कंटिन्यूज हिज गुड फॉर्म इन द वर्ल्ड कप ऑल्सो.
Thank you. Just up the back here on the far left.
Thanks, Mel. Jonathan Healy from Engage here. Got a question for Temba Bavuma. Obviously very disappointing to lose Dwayne Pretorius to injury in the last couple of weeks, but you've got a pretty handy replacement in Marco Jansen. What are your expectations of what he can come in and do?
Yeah, Marco is obviously a big addition for us. He obviously comes in with an extra bit of pace. He's a left arm option as well. It gives us a bit more variety in our bowling attack. And he comes at quite a steep length as well. So I'm excited to see Marco in the squad. You know, he's been chomping at the bit, looking for his opportunity. So I guess we're excited to see how much value he can add within the team.
Turn up back, yep.
Rohit, one for you as someone who was part of the 2007 tournament, the first T20 World Cup. Like, how much different is the game now? How much differently do you approach it, think about it, prepare for it, to what you would have done for that first tournament, and I suppose as a young player back then?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. 2007. I mean, when I was picked for that World Cup, I literally didn't go with any expectations about myself, not the team. I just wanted to enjoy the tournament, play the tournament, because that was my first ever World Cup, so I had no understanding of what is it like to be part of the World Cup, and how big it is going to be until we won the World Cup, and and from there till now it's been a long journey. The game has evolved so much that you can literally see how it's being played now compared to what it was in 2007. 140, 150 was a good score back then, and now people try and get that score in 14, 15 overs. And it's just that the teams have become more fearless. They have started to take a lot of risk without worrying about the result, which I think is a good way to play this kind of format. It is something that our team is also trying to do, because this is a kind of format where there is risk, but there's literally high rewards as well. So you've got to be brave enough to take those risks, and certainly will be prepared to do that as well. And so I think that's my understanding from 2007 to 22. A lot of things have changed, obviously, but it's been a good one to see the game evolved in all these years.
Okay. Last question from the audience.
Just one more for Temba, please. Temba, what's your mindset like at the moment, given it's been a difficult period for you personally and the team, and how are you trying to turn it around?
Well, to be honest, I think the guys are in good spirits. We've obviously just come from India, where we didn't have the best of series, but I think there's still a lot of confidence that we can take throughout our season in the performances that we put together as a team. I think it's not all doom and gloom for us. We're excited. We're looking forward to this tournament and how far we can go. Probably not a lot of expectation around us as a team again. So I guess for us will be flying under the radar. Every day. Doing the best that we can, prepare as well as we can for all the games, and enjoy the journey as well.
Okay, we're going to round it off with just two quick questions from up here as well. Shakib, I'd love to just get your thoughts. You've just been in New Zealand for the Tri-Series coming off the back of the Asia Cup as well. A couple of changes to your squad. What can we expect? What kind of style of play can we expect from Bangladesh in this World Cup?
I think we've got a very good, exciting team. Most of are new. So it will be a great experience for them. All of us are playing T20 International first time in Australia, including me. So that's a new. I think we prepared very well. We were in Christchurch where we played 4 games against 2 very good sides. So we know what are the things that we need to do, to be able to perform well here in Australia, and I think we are prepared enough, to do well.
I didn't realise it was your first game in Australia for T20.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
And I've been playing for
Pop that down in my
years.
notes for commentary. That's brilliant. And last one for you, Andrew. You've played over 20 T20 internationals in the last 12 months. That is some fantastic preparation. Do you feel as if the Ireland team is finely tuned and you're happy with the preparation coming in?
Yeah, I think so. After last year's disappointment, we kind of had a bit of a rejig. We had a new coach and a couple of new players come in and a couple of senior players drop out, and we've tried to go out and play a certain way that excites people, and we haven't really got the results we've craved, but we've run some pretty good teams close. So going into this World Cup, we certainly have a lot of games and experience in the bank, but the games come so thick and fast, particularly in that group, that early stage. So we need to hit the ground running once Monday comes.
Yep. You have to hit the ground running. Everyone has to hit the ground running. Can we please thank the second bunch of our 8 captains for joining us today, fellas? Thank you so much. I will relieve you. You can head on down. Thank you so much. Actually, waiting, pausing. You can still stand, Bubba, because it was announced a little bit earlier that we do have a special day today. Aaron Finch is going to present Bubba with a happy birthday cake. Now, most of us in this room are Australian, so we'll not ask anyone to sing because that is not our thing. But we will give him a round of applause. Happy birthday, Bubba.
Thank you. Thank you so
Freshly made today by Aaron Finch. What flavour?
No idea.
No idea what flavour it is, but I'm sure it'll be very, very nice indeed. Bubba, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you to our 8 captains as well. I'll allow you guys... I might get you guys to sit there because we'll wrap things up very quickly indeed. I think most importantly now, the most important thing for everyone to do is set your alarms, because at 3 p.m. tomorrow, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, you don't want to miss the first ball of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. And if you're like me, don't set it for 3 p.m, set it for about 1 p.m, because you want to get involved with all the build-up as well. I would like to remind journalists today, just at the end here, you do have an opportunity to have a chat to Aaron Finch, and we'll just have that off-centre here as well. The attention is mostly on players and fans for World Cups when they come around, and rightly so as well. But to everyone within the media contingent, have a wonderful time in Australia. I hope you enjoy a little bit of cricket, most definitely, but also everything that Australia has to offer as well. So thank you to the media for turning up today. Thank you to the 8 captains here and the 8 captains behind the stage as well. All the very best for all teams within this World Cup, and I hope everyone has a wonderful time in Australia. Thank you so much.